Welcome guys, this is my new bike, BMW S1000RR. Pretty much dead stock, actually, yeah, dead stock from BMW factory. The Acropovic exhaust is just a slip-on. That's a BMW option, so nothing modified on at all. So, gonna give you a bit of a freaking, I don't know, kind of my thoughts on the bike. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. It's not going to be like a review or anything. I'm actually going to tell you some things that I didn't know about the S1000 until I bought it. I've had it for about a few days now, and I'm just going to tell you about some things that surprised me about the bike that I wasn't expecting, because this is such a common bike. Everyone knows about this bike. It's, you know, it's the top dog and stuff, so everyone pretty much already knows all its good bits and a lot about it. I'm going to tell you the things that I didn't know about it, and in doing that, I'm also going to take you through the freaking Formula 1 track, which is open right now, because it's a road in Melbourne, the Formula 1 track, and Formula 1's not for about another month. They've got all the corners and all the grandstands and stuff open, but it's still a road, you can go down there, so I'll take you down there. And give you my thoughts on the Beamer. Now, yeah, so I'm not going to be doing anything special on the bike and this thing. I'm specifically going to a place that's slow, just because I really can't show you what the performance is like on public roads. It's, you know, it's very freaking fast, I'll say that. So there's no point in me showing you how fast it is. Might as well take you for a nice cruise around the Formula 1 track. So I'm trying to remember, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the track, yeah. Because there's some bits that are road and some bits are the actual track. And this is a part of the actual track, so freaking Sebastian Vettel will be rocketing down here in less than a month. Here I am on a bike that could probably keep up with a Formula 1 car in a straight line, but unfortunately I have to do the speed limit, and there's going to be a lot of cops here, so no chance of me going any faster. But anyway, I'll tell you some cool things about the BMW. All cool things, or things that surprised me, things I didn't know were going to happen. Now, one thing, now everyone said that this bike was really smooth for a European inline 4, and it is smooth. It's very smooth and very manageable, especially for how much of a monster it is. Close to 200 horsepower. It's smooth, but it's not Japanese smooth. It's not as smooth as a Honda or a you know, my old 636. It's a little bit more rough than that. It doesn't handle the low revs as nicely as my old 636, and there's a bit of vibration. The vibration really kicks in at about 4,000 RPM. You can feel it through the handlebars. Now, everyone on the S1000 forum say that a weighty set of bar ends can eliminate a lot of that vibration, so I've ordered them, they're on their way, and we'll see what they're like. Another thing that the S1000 does, which I was not expecting, was it gets really freaking hot. Really hot. Like, I've ridden some old Ducatis, and they used to get pretty freaking warm. This also gets really warm. Now, the engine temperature doesn't really get higher than my 636 engine temperature has ever got. Like, it gets to about 100 degrees, which was pretty normal for a really hot day and riding pretty hard on my 636. But the thing is this thing radiates heat. The frame where your legs are gets so hot where it actually can be unbearable to have your legs tied up against it if you're wearing jeans or something. Now, I know you should be wearing leathers and stuff, but I don't wear leathers when I cruise around the city and stuff. I generally just wear jeans, and it actually gets really hot where I gotta actually put my legs apart from it. So that's something I wasn't expecting. You know, it's not like, you know, it's not terrible or anything. In winter, it's actually gonna be probably pretty nice. Oh, look at this shit on the freaking racetrack. Here we go. I wish you could just gun it, but definitely cannot gun it. This is where Twisted Throttle lost his license, in Albert Park, so that's why I'm staying very muchly under the speed limit. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of kids coming out here and trying to be bloody Daniel Ricciardo and trying to smash it down the straight. Alright, what else surprised me about the BMW? I've had a few false neutrals. I thought the gearbox would be a little bit smarter than that. It doesn't have the neutral finder like my 636 did. Look at this shit, look at the stance, this is great. It's nothing hard, you just got to give it a good kick instead of, you know, a little tap like my 636. Again, nothing to write home about. Here we come. Home straight. They just want to fang it down here. No, speed limit's 40, so you know, someone tailgated me so hard. Pretty cool. I sure reckon I should take a picture down here. Let's pull over. But doesn't that look cool? This is main straight of the Melbourne Formula 1 track. Just a public road. Normally. But like, this is actual road, actual surface that they'll be using. Just let these people cruise past so I can make it look like it's a racetrack. That's pretty cool. Man, the garages look so much smaller in real life. Looks so much bigger on TV. They're freaking tiny. That's pretty cool. So it's all going to be happening in a month. All going to be happening. Alright, back to the bike. Getting distracted by Formula 1. Alright. Back to the bike. The quick shifter on it does like to be used at a higher RPM and a higher speed. It doesn't like low speed. I haven't found it to be too useful, like really going slow around the city and stuff. It does much prefer to be used at a higher RPM. If you're changing over 12,000 RPM, geez, that quick shifter is amazing. It is just, like, it's freaking flawless. You don't even feel like you're changing gear and stuff. It's like it's got a seamless transmission or something. It's so good. But around town, like if I do it now, like I'm at 3,000 RPM at 40 k's an hour. If I do it now, actually that was really smooth. I'll give it that. But first to second at low revs, I'll show you that, and there's a bit of a clunk. You hear the boo boo, and then to third, a little bit of a clunk. Third to fourth it likes, loves that. Oh, and one other thing that I'll cut this in even though I'm, you know, out of Elwood Park. I can't get good downshifts on this bike, and I don't know why. I've got to Google it. I've freaking someone on the S1000 forums was saying they're hard to get a good blip of the throttle and downshift, and I'm finding that as well. I don't know if it's something to do with the quick shifter or if I'm not doing it right, but you know, I've ridden a lot of other bikes and I'm pretty good at getting a good downshift and a good blip of the throttle to really smooth out your downshifts and stuff. I'm to the point right now where it's so smooth, but I just can't do it on this bike. I get up to third gear, I get a little bit of pace, so if it just doesn't feel smooth. That wasn't too bad. But I've had it sometimes where it's like it's clunked and shit, and I'm like, I've never had that before on any other bike. I don't know if it's a quick shifter or if I just need to do it differently. This is great fun cruising around the Formula 1 track. It's a city over there, looking all pretty in the sunshine. Seagulls, they get the best spot of the house. Unless a freaking Formula 1 car comes off and smashes into them. But anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts on the S1000. I wanted to tell you something about it though. Just, yeah, some things that you might not have heard about, because I know a lot of, like, if you're like me, you've probably seen a lot of reviews on the S1000. You probably already know all its good things, you know, 200 horsepower, awesome freaking electronics, you know, it handles like a 600, it's so manageable and comfortable. You could freaking tour on it, it's so nice. So I didn't want to just do the same review that you've always heard. I thought I'd tell you some things that I wasn't expecting when I bought it. And I don't mean that a negative thing. It's an amazing bike and I'm super happy I got it. I just wanted to, you know, offer a little bit more information that you might not have known about, you know, if you're ever thinking about getting an S1000. Thought it might be cool. I don't know, it's a little bit slow. I'm sorry, it's kind of shitty around here. As I said, Twisted Throttle lost its license around here, so I'm not speeding. And being that this is the Formula 1 track, there's going to be tons of cops around here trying to get people who are going to pretend to be Schumacher or something down here. So that's why I'm just cruising. And the sun has just gone down. Perfect timing. Anyway, that's Riding with Tom. First thoughts on my S1000. Awesome bike. Too powerful. Extremely freaking comfortable and manageable. I would, you know, I could not say you could learn on it, but it's not that terrifying, to be honest. Like, I think riding the Aprilia Tiona or an RSV4 or something, those bikes are quite a bit more terrifying than this thing. This thing is freaking pretty manageable in sport mode. In race modes, it gets a little bit faster, and probably slick mode's gonna be a bit more. I haven't had it in slick mode yet, but in sport mode, it's not too bad. I'm not saying you can learn on it. I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to freaking. You can still die very easily on the thing. It's still freaking fast. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the S1000. Freaking take it easy, gents. More vids to come, bro. Yeah.